Yes, hello, New York City. The name is Ray Henson. The show is Thorough Life TV. You tuned in to us, aka The Raw Review. We're going to do a recap of the year. Matter of fact, I want to wish y'all a Happy New Year and hope y'all stick to your New Year's resolutions. We're going to do a recap from last year. We was at the Cancer Relay. We did an interview with Envy Tattoo Parlor. Was down in the Diamond District and sat down with some good brothers at Tracks in New York City. Did a interview with a jeweler. We had in the cipher. We had some good artists on here. Training day. That's just a few things that we had on the show and everything. But today's topic is police brutality. Police brutality has been a problem in our communities for many years and probably will be a problem for many more years to come. Um, One incident that sticks out in my mind most clearly is the Ramarley Graham incident. The young man who was gunned down in the Bronx. Ramarley Graham was 18 years old. He was an unarmed black male. He was murdered by NYPD officer Richard Haste in front of his grandmother and his 6-year-old brother in the bathroom of his family's house. He was unarmed and he was executed by Officer Richard Haste, who was charged with manslaughter, and several other officers who got away have not even been charged with anything. You know, this is a real sad story. A young man was unarmed, wasn't doing anything, and was killed in his own household. Um, that's becoming a problem. There's a thin line between law and brutality, and they keep crossing the line over and over again. The list is very long of people in our communities who've been victims of police brutality. Police brutality does not discriminate. It doesn't only mean you're black. You could be black, you could be Hispanic, you could be white, you could be a male, you could be a female, and you could be fall victim to police brutality on something that's unjust. Um, this has been plaguing our communities for a while, and we need to come up with some kind of resolution to this problem because it's getting out of hand. You know, the last incident that sticks out in my mind was a dude named Reynaldo Cuevas, who they gunned down. He was an unarmed man walking out of a store. He got gunned down. Remember the other kid that hit in the head with that walkie-talkie a while back too. You know, this doesn't stop. It just goes on and on again. When do we when is enough becoming enough? You understand? I don't want to preach to y'all all day, but really is a problem, and anybody could fall victim to this. Could be your mother, your sister, your brother, your grandmother, your aunt, your uncle. Nobody's safe out here while they are slaughtering our children. Okay, the name is Ray Henson. The show is Thorough Life TV, aka The Raw Review. Peace, love, and hip hop. Baby, baby. Yes, hello. The name is Raymond Henson. The show is Thorough Life TV, aka The Raw Review. And like I said, the topic of today was domestic violence. I'm sitting here with Constance Graham, the huh?
Malcolm, my last name is Malcolm.
Oh, Constance Malcolm, the mother to Ramarley Graham, who was killed by um, police officer Hayes in February of 2012. He was unarmed. Um, Miss Malcolm, tell me some things about your son.
Well, first of all, Ramon was 18 years old. Very loving, fun kid. Liked to help people. Just a loving, normal kid. You know, loved to help even the elderly person. He would see them across the street. You know, help them with grocery. Go to the grocery store for them if they need to. You know, he'd love his little brother. Take him to school sometime. Drop him back. You know, pick him back up sometime. Go to the store for his grandmother. You know, he was just loving. Everybody loved Ramali. Molly was a humble little kid.
Okay, what was some of your son's goals and dreams, aspirations?
Well, Marley loved animals. He always loved animals. He want to work with animals. He want to rapper, but every little young boy want to be a rapper. But I don't think that was really his goal. His goal would probably like to work with animals, because when Marley was like about um when he was young, there's a pet store on 225th Street. He was too young to work there, so he find a way to go into the store to work by volunteering his time just to be around the animals. And at that age, I think it's very good for him to really want to do something that show you he would have turned out to be something, but he never got that chance.
So he was all around good person.
All around, very loving. Anybody would tell you he's very humble, quiet, decent kid.
Okay, it said that he was shot in front of his younger brother. How did that affect the younger brother? Seeing his older brother get gunned down like that.
Well, yeah, he was shot in front of my mom and my young son at the time. He was 6 years old. It's affected him a lot because I'm having a lot of problems right now, even in school. If we go past the precinct, you will hear him started saying stuff which a normal kid that age shouldn't be saying, and that's due to the fact what he saw happen to his brother, which no young kid should have went through. He's been traumatized. When I say traumatized, very traumatized.
Um, what kind of support have you been receiving from the community or public activists that towards your son, and what kind of things have you been doing to seek out justice for this heinous crime that they have committed against your family?
Well, we've been getting a lot of support, from the community and all over New York. Because, a matter of fact, I just met with Jordan Davis' family, dad. That's the young man that just got killed in Florida to playing his music too loud. He called us, and we met with him on Tuesday, last Tuesday. And so we having a lot of support. We having people that support us, even people that we really don't know, but they really out there. Believe it or not, we have cops that even come up to us and tell us, you know, it's wrong. But we know they can't really come out and say it. It would be good if they come out and say it, but honestly, we know they can't because they get backlash from it.
Okay. Um, what do you miss most about your son?
Well, Marley, like I said, Marley loves music. If you're gonna oversleep, you wouldn't, because as he wakes up, the music goes on. He wakes everybody up with the music. Just his laugh and the way he mimic my mom. 'Cause my mom talks very fast, so he always mimic how she speaks. And just the stuff we talk about stuff from Jamaica, which Marley was born here, but he like my mom would sit down and tell him stories, and he would repeat back the stories. I laugh about it, or just his little funny way of talking about things and laughing about things. He's very missed. He's missed.
Okay. The officer that shot him. What are they doing anything to get him to get justice for that? Like, what are y'all doing like to get justice for what he did?
Well, we out there. We hope, that we get justice. And like I said, it's not just justice for Marley. We not fighting just for Marley. Marley is no longer here. We fight for all the young kids that's out there that became my kids. Those are my kids now because I'm not fighting for Marley anymore. These kids I'm fighting for so it doesn't happen. Because as you know, this was happening in my house, inside my home. So it's like you're not even safe in your home anymore. And for him to come in my house and did that heinous crime that he did, it was so wrong. It broke all the rules that was put in place by them, the NYPD. And you know, it's just so wrong.
Does any way we could give a donation or any site we can go through to reach out to your family?
Well, we have the ramoliscall.org right now, but it's not up as yet. But hopefully by the next week or so, it'll be back in place. We have it, but it's we having a little problem keeping it maintained right now. But hopefully by next week or so, it'll be back up. So in future, you could go there. Or we also have the Gmail if you need to send us an email or something, ramolicall@gmail.com. And you could even leave us a message there. We also have a telephone number on the flyers. I'm not remembering the number right now, but on the flyers, they have a telephone number. You could always leave a message and somebody will return your call.
Okay. All right, y'all. The name is Raymond Henson. This is. I'll give you a date. Oh, I'm off. I'm sorry.
That's okay. We have well, February the 2nd, 2030 will make it 1 year since this happened. Yeah, it seems like it just happened, but it's gonna be 1 year, and we having a candlelight vigil outside in front of 749 East 229th Street. This is where Ramali was murdered. I don't call it killed. It was murdered. And so we will have the visual here at 749 East 229th Street at Bronx, New York, 10466. And that will start at 2 o'clock. And it's on a Saturday. So I'm asking people to come out and support us. Let us know that you're still behind us. You're still supporting us. And that will be greatly appreciated. And also, March 26, 2013, we also go back to court for Richard Hayes. And he was charged with manslaughter 1 and manslaughter 2. And we'll be go back to court, to for the hearing to see when this trial going to start or where we're going to go with it.
Okay. All right. The name is Raymond Henson. The show is Raw Review, aka Third Life TV. We were sitting here today talking to Constance Malcolm, the mother of Ramali Graham, who was slain down by the police. You could reach out to her at Ramali York and show your support, because we got to make sure this doesn't happen again in our community. It's happened so many times, and it's getting way out of line. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's nice to meet you. All right. The name is Ray Henson. The show is Stereo Life TV, aka the Raw Review. We standing here on Boston Road in front of a sex shop. The sex industry is a $14 billion industry. But the question is, how do people feel about a sex shop being in a school zone where kids are going to school at? We're going to find out and see if anybody wants to speak on it. And later on, we're going to get more deep into the subject. Excuse me, sir. Can I speak to you for a minute? Can I speak to you for a minute? Here we go. We have somebody with enough courage to speak up. All right. No, you're gonna look fine, sister.
Oh, thank you.
All right, I want to ask you this: how do you feel about a sex shop being in the same area of a school zone?
It's not good at all. No, no.
So you're against it?
Come on, yeah, it's not a good thing. Although I love sex shops, but I love the kids more. I shouldn't have said that, right?
I mean, you're speaking your mind. No, that's good. That's good like that. This is the Raw Review, Third Life TV. Speak your mind. What do you do for a living?
I'm unemployed right now.
Come closer to the camera.
No, don't put me on camera. No.
All right, sister. All right.
Thank you.
You're beautiful too.
Thank you.
Keep smiling. I tried, but she didn't want to be on camera. But we still gonna use the footage anyway. We got the audio. Thorough Life TV, peace, love, hip hop. Kids are the future. The name is Raymond Henson. The show is Thorough Life TV, aka the Raw Review. Like I said earlier, the topic was the sex industry. We sitting here with Miss
Layla.
Miss Layla. She's an escort. She's gonna tell you more about the escort game. How you doing? It's nice to meet you. So what got you into being an escort?
Basically, of course, the income and the way that it was taught to me is it's not exactly sex, it's more companionship. So not everything is sexual acts. So sometimes it's just talking, massaging, just being there for the client. Sometimes sex happens, sometimes it doesn't.
Okay, what was you doing before you was into the escort game?
I was a student. I got into escorting, prostitution, when I was like 21. Just extra income, basically.
Okay, so how long have you been in the game?
On and off for about 6 years.
6 years. You said you was going to school. What did you study? You went to school.
When I first started, it was business administrating. I ended up doing medical assisting. I have, associates, right now. So I do have something to fall back on when I am tired of escorting.
Okay. Would you tell another young lady to do this over or do school? Would you like what's that word, influence like this lifestyle to someone else? Would you prefer to like tell them is would they over school or being an escort?
That depends because this lifestyle really isn't for everybody. Of course, I would say go to school. I mean, that's for anybody, hands down. You need the education, no matter what you're gonna do in life.
So have you ever had a pimp?
I have.
What was that like having a pimp? Like I mean, you all day you laying on your back making money, handing it over to somebody else. What was that like?
That's not how it really goes. I mean, if a real pimp is supposed to protect you, he's supposed to be there. I mean, if he could be under the bed while you are with a client, that's where he's supposed to be to make sure nothing really happens to you. You're handing over the money because he provides shelter, guidance, protection. He's supposed to be there with you at all times. I mean, what you see on TV, I mean, that's not what it really is. But the game is to be sold and not told. So not everything is going to be on TV, in a book, in a magazine. And that's what's wrong with what's going on now. You have these little boys, thinking that they're pimps off of rap videos, they see it in a movie, and that's not really how it is.
Okay, so what's the difference between real pimp and somebody who like is just playing around with it and faking it?
A real pimp is supposed to just see the potential in you. You could be a bum on the street with a sign. If he sees that you're the potential to make that money, he's supposed to see it. He's supposed to tell you how to dress, how to walk, how to do everything. He is your mother, father, sister, brother, your companion. Everything. He is everything. It's not about, oh, you didn't listen, now you get hit. You have to be sat down and taught. You can't discipline somebody for something they didn't know. You can't beat a child when you didn't tell them, don't go outside. You can't do that. They have to be taught everything. And just like a child, I'm going to tell you once, don't do it again. I'm going to tell you again, don't do this. Now, if I have to keep telling you, you do have some pimps, they do put your hands on you or other punishments, but that's not what the game is about. It's not to beat and humiliate your woman. You're supposed to uplift her, uphold her, give her that self-esteem to make that money.
Okay.
It's a whole, yeah, exactly.
So do you make good bread doing this?
I make a nice amount.
Okay, so are you like a bottom bro? Like
I don't have a